there, everybody. It is Duck Designs. Today, we're going to be taking a look at another one of the courses that I just finished making. This course here is called Cavalry Creek GC, Golf Club, obviously. Uh, this was a course that I started making back in 2K19, actually. This was the last course I started making in 2K19, or I guess it was 2019, the Golf Club 2019 back then, but I started this in there. It was my first course I finished in 2K21. This was actually done for a school project, believe it or not. We had to make an entire golf course uh, and just kind of give a routing and just draw a golf course and make it all work. If you actually go back to my first video on this channel, you will see my school project for Cavalry Creek. So if anyone's interested in this course, wants to see some of the history of it, please go back to that video. It is my first video on the channel. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get right into this. So obviously, since this course was already made, my job coming in here in this renovation was just fixing up a bunch of things. Had a lot of problems with some of the bunkers being a little too steep, a little too wild. A lot of the greens were semi-unplayable. Had to do a lot of greens work and a little bit of like recontouring the fairways. My one goal with this entire project was to keep everything as original as possible, as in the grass lines. So I didn't want to disturb what anything looked like because I spent probably 70 hours making this course and drawing it in real life and matching up the contours and everything. So I wanted to keep this accurate to the real life map that I had made. So over the entire course, there were only a few things that were added or changed in terms of grass lines. There are a couple bunkers, like there's one bunker here that is new. There's another bunker somewhere else in the course that is new. And the only major change was hole number 15 here. 15 was so bad that I just had to completely tear it up and restart from brand new. The only thing that's original here on this hole is the green and the green side bunker. Everything else has been changed, but we'll get to that later on. So let's go ahead and start here with the clubhouse number one. So this entire thing, if you kind of looked at this course from above, it is a big rectangle because this project had to be done on a big piece of poster board. So I only had a square area to kind of work with and create a course. So down here on our southern edge is our little entry road and like access area. Come up here to our little clubhouse. Nothing super fancy up here, just a regular clubhouse, little maintenance area behind. Putting and chipping area back here, and of course our big driving range. This was one of the first times I had tried to like make a wall to protect cars and stuff. Came out okay. It's not my favorite, but it came out okay. Um, Other than that, I think that's really it in terms of amenities out here. There is a nursery over here, kind of in the middle of the course, just kind of tucked away. Nobody really sees that as you're playing, but it's just sitting over here, just in case the guys need to cut some grass to go fill in some areas in the course. Yeah, let's go ahead and hop on down to one. All right, starting on number one here, let me pull up my little distances in the top right. All right, so this is a medium length par four, just a very easy little nice opener. This is an easy hole as long as you don't red fast or red slow anything. Got some little nice framing on the bunkers here. Nothing super fancy. The further down the fairway you are, the better angle you have in. So you really do want to try to muster up as much as you can on your tee shot to get a preferred angle into this green right here. Whereas back here you're having to hit over this bunker, kind of guarding the green. This green is pretty heavily sloped. It's a bit of a punch bowl in the back portion, back right portion. The biggest thing about this green is just not going long. As long as you don't miss long here, you are perfectly fine. This should be a pretty easy par for most players. All right, come up to number two. Number two was probably the most difficult par three on this course. I did some slight changes to it. I made the green a little bit larger in this front edge because there wasn't a lot of room for this pin position, and I recontoured some of these slopes in the screen. The big punisher of this hole is this bunker long. You are hitting slightly downhill from the tee, so as you're coming into this, a lot of players will miss long, just barely rolling this bunker. But the shot coming out of this, keeping it close to any of these pins up here on the top tier is almost impossible. It is definitely doable. It is definitely doable. It's just hard. It's difficult for most players to get it to stop before coming down this extra hill. Other than that, pretty simple little par three. I really do like this hole. It's very basic, nothing super complex about it. Just hit yourself a good shot, get on that green, get a two-putt par. All right, number three, this is our first par five coming up. This is the hole that I added an extra bunker over here because as this was designed in 2K19 and then up to 2K21, people didn't used to hit the ball so far. Now people can drive about 330, so I needed a bunker on this corner to kind of protect people from just overshooting this bunker, landing here and getting a kick into the fairway. So this is just another little discouraging factor to keep people out of there. Something else I wanted to point out on this course that I've never really done in any of my other courses is these just waste areas. You'll see these on golf courses if you play enough. They're usually wetlands that kind of hold water when it rains too much. They're dry some parts of the year. And I have some of these kind of scattered throughout the course. As you can see, this hole actually has 4 of them all down this little left side. This one isn't so bad right here, but these other ones are actually like little pits with a bunch of brush and stuff in them. They're definitely in play, something you want to avoid on this hole. All right, coming on up here to the green, this is a reachable hole if you hit a good drive. It takes a monstrous second shot to get all the way up here though, but if you land stuff right over this bunker into this little area right here, it's a nice little runway to get your ball to bounce and kick up onto the green so you can get a nice little chance at a par. Big thing on this hole is don't miss long left. You miss long left and it can be a hard chip up out of this big old bowl up to some of these pin positions. And also this little hidden bunker over here on the right side of the green, something you can't see from the fairway, that was done on purpose to kind of hide it, is also a very big thing you need to avoid. If you hit things a little bit too far right coming into the screen, they can bounce all the way down into the same bunker. And coming out of here isn't too hard, but it's just not the place you want to be. Very birdieable hole though. All the par fives out here are very birdieable. All right, coming on to hole number 4. This is my favorite par 3 on the whole course. Very simple little hole. Let me figure. Can I pull up the whole map? I cannot. All right, so just looking down from above here. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom in. We got a little tree placed right here above this bunker on the short right. Bunker behind, bunker short left. The bunker short left creates this really nice little ridge right here to kind of make the green feel like it's raised, and you really got to get it up over this to get to this back area. Bunker on the right is up above the green, raised up above to kind of give a protecting feeling to this back right corner here. And with the contours of the green, it is set up so that you basically, if you want to get to this back right pin, you don't need to land on top of it. You land a little short here and you catch a little roll down to this little bottom area. Terms of the rest of the screen, there's like a little bitty bowl, or this is kind of like a buritz right here. It's just a little trench line running across this area, not super defined, but it's definitely there. It's enough to protect this back tier and also protect this front tier, as you need to land it perfectly or else you're going to roll long into this little catch area right here. I just really enjoy the look of this hole and how it plays. Just very nice little hole. All right, coming on to 5, another one of our par 5s. This is a just straightaway hole, nothing super fancy here. The tee shot has a slightly left to right slanted fairway, so you want to try to land stuff as close to this trash as you can, because if you land in the right half of this fairway, you are in danger of kicking over into one of these bunkers. And I haven't shown it too much yet, but these bunkers out here have some massive walls, and some of these I have fixed and changed up. Like these are slightly smaller than they used to be, some of them, and I mean they're still humongous walls. So you want to try to stay out of these bunkers the best you can, because you get in these and there's a good chance you can't make it to the green. You're just gonna have to play a layup shot. But anyway, once you get here in the fairway, it's pretty easy to get to the green. I believe the green is very reachable here. Yeah, you hit. Most drives will end up somewhere around this area by this bunker, and you have about 250 into the green. And this green isn't super difficult. It's pretty basic. You have one bunker guard in the back, 2 right pin positions, and this little bunker on the left kind of guarding this top one. But this front pin position right here, very reachable, very gettable. The only thing you have to worry about is when you're coming up in here, there's a little bit of a slope here that can bounce your ball to the right and into this bunker. So as long as you're not dealing with a lot of wind or getting your ball pushed over to the right by a fade or anything, you should be fine here. Come on to six. This is, I believe, our only. Actually, there's two drivable par fours, but they're both hard to reach. This one right here will take about a 330-yard shot to clear this bunker on the right, biggest bunker on the course as well. But you can get up on this green. This green is not the easiest by far. I mean, these back two pin positions are very difficult. Basically, what this hole does is anybody who's going for it and just smashing a drive up here, you're going to have a hard chip in these pin positions because you're chipping into a side slope and a down slope for both of these. But if you lay up and kind of lay up back here somewhere, you are chipping more into these slopes, and it's a lot easier to get your ball to hold and stay. Front two pin positions are just easy pin positions. There's nothing really complex about these other than the fact that they are guarded by the bunker and very tempting to go for from the tee. All right, coming on here to number seven. Number seven is a dogleg left. I really do enjoy this hole a lot, honestly. From the tee right here, you can see you have a little tree kind of blocking the green and blocking about half of this fairway. But this is about where your drive will land, about even with this bunker right here. So you have two options. You can either lay up to the really, really fat part out here, which is super easy, and have about a 160 or so into an uphill green. Or you can smash your drive and try to get it all the way down here to about 100 yards and have a shorter wedge in. But at the same time, you're having to contend with this massively deep bunker over here that you really do want to avoid. You want to stay out of this thing as best you can. But I really do just like the framing of this tee shot, and I mean, really, this hole only needs this one bunker. This other bunker is just for looks. Just a very simple hole that plays very well, in my opinion. Coming up here to the green. This green isn't my favorite, but I do like it. It's almost got a bowl in the back of the green back here. Uh, so as you're coming into this front pin, you can land short left and have it bounce up on. You can kind of go a little long and have it kind of come back. Big, massive flat area in this front portion of the green, making it pretty easy for these front two pins. The back two pins are guarded by this big slope, by both of these bunkers. And I mean, you go long here and you are dead. I mean, you see how big this slope is, and then there's a bowl behind the green. Once you go behind the green, chipping back up and down is very difficult. There is a little slope right here that can catch you to help slow your ball down, but getting a par from back here is very hard. Uh, yeah. Coming on here to hole number eight. Eight is it's a fancy little hole. Got two little raised sections of fairway. This one obviously being kind of the layup, easier area. This one a little bit more go for. Nothing's really long here though. I mean, this is 150 in at the start of this fairway right here, and most people's drives are going to be landing up in here. The only thing you have to contend with is this bunker right here. It is quite a deep little bunker, pretty heavy face on it, but as long as you can keep it in the fairway here, this is a very easy par, if not a birdie. Green is perched up really high with two bunkers, front left and front right, with this little nose of the green kind of sticking out here, which I really like having pin positions right here to play to. That's definitely the most interesting pin on this hole. The two in the back are fun. This one in the middle right here is also a very difficult pin, as it is got a slope immediately behind it and immediately in front of it, so you have to be pretty precise in terms of where you're going to land your ball here. All right, coming on down to hole number 9 here. This is also, I wanted to show this. This is before I knew how grass loaded in the game. So as you can see, grass kind of unloads pretty quick, at least the type that I used out here, which if I could go back, I would have changed the grass type and used something else out here, but it's okay at this point. Number 9, I really, really love the tee shot on this hole. Beautiful, huge bunker on the left side, forcing you out to kind of play towards the water or caress this bunker as much as you can. Very long hole as well. Most people's drives are landing about right here, so you're still going to have 270 in on some of the longer drives. And not only that, but there is a massive bunker hill combination guarding the entire left side of the screen. You can see the two right pin positions, but anything on the left side, very difficult to see, but this gives it a special characteristic thanks to the shaping around here, where if you miss left, you'll get a kick onto the green. If you miss short, you'll probably get a kick towards it, maybe on the green. And looking at this green right here, most people's balls will end up gathering on this little front position right next to, I believe, pin 1 right here, and I think pin 4 is in the back. Very simple little green, really like it. I did break a few rules on a few pin positions on this course. Typically, you're not supposed to have yellow in the 9 square. I did it here. I did it back on another hole, but I just wanted to keep the pin positions pretty pretty similar to what I had back in the day. I didn't want to do a bunch of changing to contours and stuff in the greens. There's only one or two greens that I really went in and changed the contours of. All right, coming on here to number 10. Number 10 was a hole I had to fix a little bit. I had these bushes raised up. As you can see, it's now in a big bowl to kind of drop these bushes down. They were like very visible in front of the tee to the point where you couldn't even tell that there was a lake over here. But opened it up. I really think it does very, very well for this hole. I mean, this hole is pretty simple, as you just need to keep stuff left away from the water. Any slow shot on this hole will be very, very punishing. Just in playtesting, I've hit it in this water quite a few times. For the most part, it's an easy hole. Just put it in the fairway. You only have, with a good drive, you only have 100 yards in. With a layup shot, with a big layup shot, you have about 150 in. I mean, it's a very, very easy short little hole. Front two pin positions over here, almost in a bowl. Very easy to get to, easy to par. Left two pin positions are a little bit harder. This back one especially being difficult, as there's a bowl behind it and a hill in front. But for the most part, you shouldn't have any problems with this hole. Come on to 11. 11 was one of the holes that I wanted to test with some extra tee boxes and just throw around some extra things around here. So there are two unused tee boxes on the far left side. One thing I hadn't mentioned yet is all the rocks and stuff are things that I have added. This course did not have any rock work before, and basically all this tree work, none of this was here. Very, very light on the tree work out here, so I came in here and added a bunch of trees. I added a bunch of colored trees to kind of give it that pop and kind of make it feel a little bit more lively instead of just having green everywhere, you know. But I think this hole definitely did very, very well with the changes. It's a beautiful little hole to look at from up here with a big submerged bunker on the left and two raised bunkers on the right. Really framing this green very well. I really do like this little nose over here, how the bunker runs around back, and you can just get a little peek of the water behind the green. And the green itself is a very special green. This is one of my little favorite creations I made. With this being about a 200-yard hole, you're heading down from above. You have basically a sectioned off area up here that then has a fall to the back left or back right, and a fall to the like kind of medium-ish left side area. So really the way you play this hole is, for these front pins, you need to be landing front of the green or short in the fairway to get your ball to kind of bounce up and on. Because going for this pin position right here is nearly impossible because of how tucked it is in this little slopey area. For the left pin, obviously you want to catch this little slope. For the back pin, you want to be landing about right here to get that little extra roll down. The only really big killer on this hole is this bunker to the right over here. If you end up in this thing, it is a very hard shot to any pin because you are going into a downslope, into a downslope, into a downslope. It's just not easy coming out of this bunker right. All right, coming on to hole number 12 here. This is another drivable par 4, but this one takes one hell of a curve. You can see back here from the tee box and then where the green is, there are plenty of trees guarding that area. So from here from the tee, I can only see the furthest right edge of this bunker. But if you put the maximum amount of draw you can on a shot, you can hook one around, catching the slope of the fairway, allowing your ball to bounce up onto the green. Using this slope as well can help you stop short or help you get that extra little curve to keep you from going down here to get to this back tier. For the most part, the layup in this hole is very, very easy. I mean, it's a huge fairway. If you just want to hit one in the center and chip and putt, you can get a birdie here very easy. But, you know, it's a video game. Most people are going to be going for the green on that first shot. But coming up here to the green, I mean, it's a wild green for sure. It's definitely one of the wildest on this course. I believe this is the biggest red slope on the entire course, which means getting in this bunker back here is a death sentence. I wanted to do this because this is a very easy hole, and this is the bailout bunker. When people don't put as much draw or hit it a little harder than they want, people will end up in this thing, and ending up in this thing immediately turns this from an easy birdie eagle to a par at best, and you're probably going to get a bogey. Tipping down to this bottom pins down here is even hard from this bunker, as everything is a downslope running off to the back of the green. Once you are on the green, though, as much slopage as there is, it is very easy to putt around this green and get stuff to sit by pins. All you got to do is get on the green, and you'll get out of here pretty easy. All right, coming on to hole number 13. 13, this is actually where I originated one of my favorite bunker concepts, the three bunkers on the inside line right here. This one doesn't do it in my favorite way possible, but this is where the concept originally came from. I usually like to have all three bunkers visible to kind of give you that, okay, can I reach this bunker? Can I go over this bunker? Can I go over this one? How far am I willing to try to push my swing to get over these bunkers? Uh, May not be able to see this last bunker, but it plays just the same. I mean, there's some very high walled, visible bunkers from the tee, and I mean, most players are going to land their shots about right here. I mean, I just really love this design concept with a diagonal fairway with these three bunkers. I mean, it's something that I've carried with me through all my courses now designing. But coming down here to the fairway, once you can get into this massive open area, I mean, the fairway's huge. It's just a matter of how far you want to push it to the right. I mean, all you got to do is get to here for 150, and that's only 280 from the tee. Coming up to the green, though, it's another wide open green. This one isn't too difficult. The only difficulty you're going to have is the internal contours. There's a huge false front on this far left pin. There's not really a false front, but a huge slope guarding this back pin and helping you with this one. And the back of the green all the way back here has a mini punch bowl just for this little back pin. Nothing super fancy, nothing super guarding here. I mean, it's another one of those easy get your par, get out of there type holes. You can definitely get a birdie here as long as you can stick one close to the pin. The only way this hole will kill you is going long. You go long on any of these pins, and coming back down onto this green is going to be very difficult, as everything is front or back to front. All right, coming on down to hole number 14. This is another one of my par fives out here. I really do enjoy this hole. I love the layout of it. It's a very simple hole. It only consists of three bunkers, I believe. Yeah, two green sides kind of pinching the green, and then one simple fairway bunker guarding this outside line here. So you kind of have a slight dogleg around these trees, and what this causes, along with the fairway contours, is you either come down this inside line, catch a little right bounce, and then come down this slope, down this big open area. And this also kind of gives you this blocked out shot to the tree to where, well, you don't really want to be in the right side of the fairway. You want to be in the left side, but the left side brings in the danger of ending up in this bunker, especially when combined with the big old knoll right here that can, if you bounce on the left side, shoot you directly into the bunker. But if say you land one right on the top of this hill and you kick straight on down, you have a perfect little opening into this green and a beautiful chance at a eagle, or at least getting the ball on the green in two. It's not a long hole either. If you hit a good shot, you're going to have about 240 into this pin, and that's not super far for a par 5 in this game. Other than that, just a really nice, simple hole. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on here, but I really do like the design concept of it. Coming up here to the green, we have a little thumbprint right here in the front, and three other distinct tiers. We have this little back tier right here, which is very flat but very small. It takes some difficulty to get on, but once you're on it, it's an easy get out of here. Back tier, pretty easy for the most part, and this front left tier is also pretty difficult. It's just this green requires some precise shots to these three pins. Front, middle, very easy, very birdieable and equalable. Other than that, pretty simple little green. I think this is another one of those spots where I added on a little bit of fairway right here to kind of give kind of like a little thumbprint area, like a little depression over here for people to land in and stop in. But yeah, coming on here to number 15. 15, I had to do a lot of work. This hole was very ugly from start to finish. The only saving grace in this hole was it had a pretty cool idea for a green. I had to completely redo a lot of the internal contours, though. I mean, this entire hole was just bad. I've had this problem for a while when I make courses. I usually have one hole per course that I'm not happy with, and just ends up kind of tarnishing the course a little bit. If you guys have played my course, Bahali Country Club, number 2 on that course is pretty bad. If you played Barron Point, number 17 out there, I don't like. It's usually I have one hole per course that ends up just being my I don't like that. I didn't like the design of that hole. So this is this one, and I came in here, completely destroyed it. I redid it. Tee boxes are semi-original locations. Like I think this one, this one, this one, and this one are the same location. I had to add onto this back tee back here. And even still, it doesn't look the best, but visually when you're just hitting from the tee, it doesn't matter. But it did end up kind of coming out cool because it almost creates this big mountain behind 14 right here. I had to do a lot of rock decoration, a lot of tree decoration to really make this place kind of come together, make it look better. I had to completely redo this. There was a big old curve right here that came around with a big depression with a bunker right here and just some really ugly slopes. So I came in here, redid all that, put in new bunkers, just reshaped everything, just tried to make it all look a lot better. But overall, this tee shot right here, I really do enjoy. Making you wanna come as close to these bunkers as you can, so you can get to the green in two. But at the same time, it's such a massive open area that why don't you just hit it here and just play it safe? And also, I don't know why, but I just really like the shaping of this bunker. It's almost like it's protruding out of the ground, but at the same time, like it is depressed. I really do like just the look of this from the tee, and it's also perfectly in the center of the fairway as you're coming down. Other than that, coming up here to the tee, we have a purely visual bunker right here, just kind of give some looks to the course. These are mainly visual as well. This is an old bunker location right here. That's why these kind of look a little bit off. It's just I try to keep the old bunker location in here and kind of similar to that. But coming up here to the green, this is my favorite little part. This is a hard hole to reach into. If you smash a drive, you're gonna have to hit a 260 or more shot into this green, which you really, really have to muster one up here. I really do like the wrap around bunker here with the retaining wall going all the way around, little stairs coming up. And this green right here, as you can kind of see, it has very, very funny little characteristic to it. This green originally was a depression right here, a square depression. And it was a lot steeper than this, like a lot steeper to the point where if you were above it, putting down onto it, you would end up almost off the green every time. But we end up taking a look at this hole, and now I have added in a little burets running across, kind of separating these two tiers. And it's really brought the hole to life, also softening up these slopes to make it a lot more realistic and a lot more playable. It makes this pin right here very, very enjoyable. It makes the pin on the front a lot more difficult, this pin a lot more difficult, and this one a lot more difficult. I mean, it really has livened up and changed this green significantly just by making this slope less steep and adding this in. It's basically all I did to this green. And it's completely changed the look and feel of it, and I love the way it plays now. Pick up a drink real quick and I'll continue on with the last three holes. But really, I did a lot of work on this area. Just a beautiful little hole now. I really do like the look of it, especially the green. The green plays very well. All right, coming on down to 16, our little picturesque hole. I mean, this is just a simple little golf hole, not too much going on here, but it looks damn beautiful from the tee. The rock work right here really brings out this curve around the water, it really makes it stand out. Also, this hole holds our only palm tree on the golf course. There's no other palms out here. This is the only one, kind of giving it that tropical feel, but it's not too tropical. Green's pretty simple. Going up here to it, there are two knolls. There's one right here and then one kind of right here. What this does is it allows it to separate the area into different little sections of the green. Like we have this little front section over here that's pinnable. We have this middle section right here, which is almost like a funnel, allowing these two pin positions to be very easily accessible from the tee. Very fun little easy pins right here. Same thing with this front one. As long as you're landing the ball a little short into the slope, you will end up pretty close to this pin and have a fairly easy shot. Back left is the hard one. It's tucked back behind the bunker. You can land it right here to kind of catch this little left roll back here, and there's a little bit of a slope to kind of catch you and stop you from going long. Other than that, man, I mean, this is a par hole every day. There should be no reason why you're bogeying this unless you absolutely mess up your tee shot. I mean, it's just easy. Even the deep, hard bunker over here isn't super difficult. I'm hoping you're not going for any of these pin positions when you miss over here, but this pin position close is pretty easy to get to. And hell, even these two are easy because they're kind of in funnels. But yeah, just a beautiful little easy hole right here, nothing super fancy. All right, coming on to 17. 17 is also one of my favorite designed holes out here. I really love the design aspect of this one. It is a big dogleg right. You can see right here, it's almost like a big hump. So what this hole does is it invites a drive to kind of cut this corner over here. And if you cut this corner with a perfect drive, you catch this slope and you run all the way down here to around the 150, and you turn a really, really long par 4 into a shorter, easy, reachable par 4. Whereas if you miss left or you just want to lay up, you have to contend with both these bunkers, and the slope is kind of bringing you away from the hole, giving you an even longer shot to the point where if you end up going over here, you could have up to, if you're by this bunker, 260 into the green. Typically, if anyone's laying up, they're going to end up about right here, which is still about 220 to the green. So you really want to be trying to cut this corner every time you play this hole. Other than that, once you get your position in the fairway, the green is fairly simple. We have a little bowl in the back that kind of is a front to back running slope. So what you want to do is you want to land about in the middle, get it back there. Middle two pin positions, you basically will want to land your ball just right in front of, just to get them there. And front pin position is obviously very easy. Big thing about this hole is don't miss right. You miss right and long, and this turns it into an extremely difficult up and down. I mean, you miss short or in either one of these bunkers, and you're basically okay. Bunker front left is a little bit more difficult, especially if you're going to back pin, but it's not the end of the world. You can still get out of here with a par. All right, and coming on down to our last hole right here, number 18. Number 18 is a special one in that it is drivable, but it's intended for a layup. You can go straight over this tree right here, straight towards the green, or you can just lay up into the large, safe fairway out here. It's a very short hole. 150 is just the front of the fairway. 100 is just by the slope. So if you want to play this safe, you just hit one out here, and you'll kind of funnel into this little area and sit right here, about 130, 140 into the green. Whereas somebody who's trying to play a little bit more aggressive on the layup can play really close to this bunker's edge right here and try to catch this little slope to bring you down to this little front area, which brings you sub 100 yards in for a really easy little pitch shot. For the most part with this hole, the further you go, the harder these two left pin positions are. So you kind of want to lay up as in front of the fairway as you can so that you can get a better angle into these. Whereas the back left or back right pin position, you do want to be as far down here as you can. So that you can open up this little funnel to the hole. Other than that, most players are going to go for the green because, you know, it's a video game. Most players are going to be hitting straight for this. When you put every little bit of ounce of shit you can get on your driver, the shorter drivers will probably land right here in the front, medium drivers about right here, and long drives will land about middle of the green or so. Pretty easy green. Front pin position is very, very open to driving the green. Back left two are guarded by this little slope, kind of keeping people from getting all the way back here. So makes it to where if you do end up on the front of the green, it is pretty hard to get it super close. It is still a pretty easy birdie overall, though. And then our back right pin position is just a very difficult one to get to, especially from the tee. This is just a hard one to get to in general. But once you are back here on this tier, it's pretty easy putting. This is a very birdieable hole. Most people will birdie this one at the end of their round. Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much the whole course. Just wanted to say a couple more things. When I designed this course originally, the whole idea was just to have these two lakes with a little river connecting and then build the entire course around it. And as I was going, I mean, I only added a couple. There's a little lake here, a little bit here. I mean, this is just, I like this course for what it is. It's not trying to be anything super fancy. It's not trying to be a world-renowned golf course. It is a good, well-made golf course, and that's what it is. This is just golf right here. There's nothing fancy, nothing that is going to blow your mind out. No giant cliff sides with all kinds of crap. No coliseums. I mean, there's no extra decoration out here. But the golf that is here plays really well, and I love playing this course. It's been one of my favorites since I've made it. There are a few little things out here that just some people won't like obviously these humongous bunker faces out here look a little ugly sometimes. They get a little bit too much at times, but as this is how I built it back in the day, I wanted to leave a lot of it as is. I wanted to keep this course as original as it was, and I think I did a very good job of that, only changing a few things throughout the course. And then of course having to change the entirety of number 15 was our big factor out here. But this whole could not stay as it was just such a big eyesore out here that it needed a change. But other than that, guys, thank you guys for watching. I really did enjoy renovating this course. This is my first renovation that I've done instead of new construction. I plan on doing more renovations of my old courses here soon because I have a lot of good courses that just need some renovating and just need some touching up to get out. And I know renovations take a lot less time. They take more around the area of 10 to 20 hours as compared to 30 to 40 plus for new courses. So I think I'm going to be posting some more renovations here soon. Uh, but other than that, guys, if you like the video, please like. And as I say all the time, put whatever courses you guys have finished or are creating in the comments, and I'll give them a try. I'll do a little video on them. Here in the next couple months, I'm going through a big life change, switching jobs, so there is a good chance that I'll have more time finally to be able to record more videos and make more stuff for you guys. But other than that, that's all I have to say today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.